Greetings to my fellow veterans, and today a special treat. Also, greetings to the hiring authorities at every level within the organizational structure. Every business owner said they want innovative, creative, collaborative, team-oriented employees willing to embrace and pursue a larger purpose, basically to buy into the vision of the organization. Many say that they have a difficult time finding these employees during the recruiting process. Hopefully, after this interview, many employers will look to foster a culture that not only attracts veterans, but one that is intentional about their recruiting efforts. Veterans have to overcome certain stigmas concerning their adaptability for the civilian sector. Since recruit training is designed to indoctrinate and assimilate military members, however, the ultimate goal of military training is to create leaders at all levels. When you might think your organization promotes from within, you have nothing on the military. Every promotion is from within. This is the purpose of most military schools and military as a whole. Most of their exercises focus on developing problem-solving expertise, creative risk assessment, moral character, all of which are skills and traits in great demand in the business world. In reality, military personnel live and breathe the value and importance of teamwork. They embrace the chain of command, but also excel at taking personal responsibility for performance and results, instantly adapt to shifting priorities, change in focus or direction in general conditions. They have strong analytical reasoning skills and know how to make and take responsibility for their action. Sounds like culture you want to create for your business? Well, today I have the privilege of interviewing the CEO of a medium-sized multi-location organization. This individual is someone that I've learned a lot from, and I've seen him lead an organization during turbulent time and grow its footprint and market share. He is a visionary that looks beyond the current trends and analyzes the potential shortfalls in meeting customers' needs to ensure that his organization remains relevant in a fast business climate, where you either adopt and grow or remain stagnant and die off. Welcome, Mr. Reimer. I'm grateful that you have allotted time out of your busy schedule to talk with us today. Over the years, you have made hundreds of direct hiring decisions that affect the organization's ability to remain successful. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, thank you, Mr. Lee. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And that was a very flowery introduction, so I appreciate that. My name's Kevin Reimer. I'm the CEO of Pleasant View Properties in Inman, Kansas. We have a small secondary campus in Hutchinson, Kansas. We have, at our heyday pre-COVID, and we're still recovering, we had 237 employees, 120 residents in our skilled part of our campus, and about 100 independent living units on our campus. So for a community the size of Inman, which is about 1,300 people, that we are the largest employer here. So we're happy with that, and we want to continue to do that. I'm married, been married for, I better get this right, my wife might hear this, but about 37 years, and it's been wonderful years with her. I've been blessed without any understanding. And we have 3 children. And so we were blessed with them, and we have 8 grandchildren, and that I wouldn't have had kids if I'd have known how fun it was to have grandkids. So,
It's a process.
It is a process. You're right. So, but anyway, I've been Inman is my hometown. So as I left to go to college in Dodge City, JUCO, then I finished up at Emporia State University. Then I worked for some for-profit organization, chains and long-term care, and came back home, and I've been here for 30 years.
Whoa, that's amazing. That's amazing to be in one area for that long. I like that. Okay, well, let me ask you some general questions to give our veterans an understanding on the process of being an asset to an organization. Okay, so the first question I'll ask you is, what challenges have you seen in the process of hiring veterans?
Well, as I think about that a little bit, we haven't really had many challenges in hiring veterans. When they've came, we've always been excited to have them come and apply. So we haven't had that many come to apply for a work at Inman. And part of that could be our location. I mean, we're sparsely populated. And so we really haven't had any problems in hiring when they come. And we've always, I believe, have had good results.
Okay. So have you seen any difficult in the integration process for veterans? Because the reason I ask that question is because a lot of the stigmas around veterans is that they're institutionalized because they've been a part of an organization for the nation's defense, and so they've learned a certain culture. They speak a different language sometimes. So have you seen a difficult process in them integrating back into a civilian culture in your experience?
I really haven't, and the reason I say that is, as I look up what does institutionalization mean, I think we all get that. I've been in long-term care for 40 years, so I'm somewhat institutionalized, aren't I? Because that's what I know and that's what I do, and I get it. And so I think we have that type of concern no matter who we work with, whether it be somebody, maybe it's somebody that's been a farmer all their life and they decide they just, well, that it's something you have to work with and understand. So you have to orientate them very, very well. You have to understanding where they're at, what they're wanting to do, what's their end game, how far do they want to go. So I don't think integration needs to be a deal killer. I mean, I think it's something to recognize and to work with and to be very methodical in how you deal with it.
Yes, sir. I like that. Okay, so can you tell me about some of the successes that you've had in hiring veterans and maybe some of the challenges that you had in bringing in veterans to your organization? Now, when I say challenges, I mean those who had to really overcome, how they spoke, how they dealt with the civilian sector processes, basis from what they were used to.
Yeah, I think, there's always going to be a little bit of that. I mean, sometimes I have to, when we do have a veteran here, whether it be a resident or an employee, and they say, yes, sir, I kind of go, oh, what? I'm not so used to that, that level of respect. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing in this day and age at all, to be real honest with you. So we haven't had that, that big issue. Probably my biggest problem has been with the veterans is length of stay. When we get them here, we get them orientated and get them involved, and they understand what their role is and what they're doing. Then there's a reason for them to have to go. And it's legitimate. That's not a dig against that, but that's kind of our business right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what advice would you give for a veteran who's exiting their military service that has a skill set that your organization could use to be successful in obtaining an interview with your organization? What could be some advice you would give to that veteran?
Oh, sure. And first thing is to just find us on social media. For example, Indeed, we advertise heavy there. If you see an opportunity that you're interested in, and if logistically, if it works out, you fill out an application and we'll give you an interview. I mean, that's just how easy it is to come and work in this field at this time. And a lot of that is with a veteran. We understand a lot of times what we're getting, and that's not disappointing. So that's really the big part of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Find us and ask for an interview and fill out the app.
Yes, sir. So what advice would you give to other leaders in the business community concerning the benefit and the challenges for hiring veterans?
Yeah, I think the benefits are going to be, you're going to get an individual that is respectful, that has a good work ethic, that understands when instructions are given. I think you would attest, Ben, when you get an instruction, you follow through, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so I believe that that bleeds over. Some of that institutionalization, again, is not a bad thing. And I think we also can see, and I haven't experienced it terribly much, but I could see the opportunity to build some great leaders. I know in our industry, I know a couple of people that I know that are in my position that have started out in the military, and they're quite successful.
Well, I appreciate that, sir. Hey, I want to say this. You're the first employer that I had the opportunity to interview, and the reason for that is because I've actually worked for you. And,
Oh, I wasn't going to tell anybody.
no, that's okay. I don't mind sharing that because it was a benefit to me. I
Yeah.
actually worked for you for 5.5 years,
Yeah.
and so it was great to work under your leadership, to see the way you were proactive and how you led the organization. And so, as I said in the beginning, I've learned a lot from you. And so I don't want to ever
Thank you.
put it aside. So I wanted you to be one of the first employers I talked to concerning your experience with veterans, because obviously I was a veteran working for you. And so
And it was a good relationship.
still to this day, that's what I really appreciate
is.
about that. You
It
know,
is.
so I really thank you for that. And so, sir, once again, I just want to thank you for your time. This has been a privilege and a perfectly benefit to veterans and decision makers at every level of the organization structure.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing thing that you'd like to say, sir?
I would just say, in this day and age, I think now is a good time for the veterans to make their stand in the public workforce. I think the time is, we struggle to find the kind of workforce that I believe a veteran can bring and fill those voids. So I would encourage you to give it this, to come forward and try to make a difference in that. So, and then with that, I say blessings to you all.
Well, appreciate you so much, sir. So I'm gonna give my little closing statement and I'll stop the video. So veterans and employers also, please consider joining with us on our journey to help veterans transition back into the civilian sector. Please like, share, give your comments to help us make this better, and subscribe as we take this journey together. I'm Clinton Lee, a retired Army career counselor, and my goal is to bring wise counsel to help all veterans succeed in the transition process. Today, I had the pleasure of bringing in CEO Kevin Reimer. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Okay. I'm going to end I'm going to stop the recording.